Hello everyone. Right, this is my first video, so bear with me. I actually got some broccoli, stringless beans and some spring onions from Olio because they were going to go in the bin, and I've had them for days and they're still fresh. So I'm going to make some recipes out of them today. Those 3 carrots are from my allotment. So I thought I'd use onions because I haven't got leeks. The spring onions, I haven't got leeks. I've got some allotment onions, but I thought, why not use up the leeks in this recipe? The broccoli, I'll probably just make broccoli cheese, but this recipe is going to involve the carrots, the spring onions, and the stringless beans. So the first thing I'm going to do is chop and prepare the beans, the spring onions and the carrots, and I'll come back to you. Right, this is it all prepared anyway. Apart from the spring onions, I've got to just like cut them into little pieces, which I'll use scissors to do. So I'm going to do that now. And then I'm going to get steaming my broccoli for my broccoli cheese. I've got 2 layers there in my steamer. I've got the beans, which I've sort of like cut up with some scissors again. It's easier, isn't it? And my spring onion I'll slice up, and my carrots are sliced, and those will all go into this pan. And I will put in some, maybe a bit of butter, and just saute them and just let them sweat down. Back in a minute. So this is the spring onions, the beans and the carrots sweating down in some butter. And I just put the lid on it so like it sort of steams. You can add a little tiny bit of water if you want to. At the back I've got my broccoli doing nice. I'm not going to cook it too much. I'm going to leave it a bit al dente because that will be, I'll be making a cheese sauce in a bit. So and then I want to put it so that I can freeze it and pull it out when I need it. So I'll show you how to make a cheese sauce in a bit. So there's the finished result. We've got the spring onion, carrots and beans that sauteed down. They're gorgeous, they're so sweet, it tastes lovely. And then we've got the broccoli, which is ready for the cheese sauce. So I'm going to make a cheese sauce now, and I'm going to first of all melt some butter and to get it into a roux. So how you do that is you add a couple of tablespoons of plain flour into it, and then stir it. Once the butter's melted, you stir it in until it sort of cooks the flour off, so it's not like powdery. It will go into like a paste texture. I'll show you in a minute. And that's when you start adding the milk slowly to get it into like a sauce. And I'll get it started and I'll pick it up from there. Right, so I'm just melting down the butter now. I've used the same pan as what I sauteed the carrots, spring onions and beans in, because I thought, well, you know, it's got a slight flavour in there, I suppose. So if you don't like onions, then don't do that, wash it out and start again. But my family like onions, so it's fine. So yes, I'm just melting this down now. And then we're going to get some flour, a couple of tablespoons once it's melted down. I'll turn up the heat a bit so it's on a bit higher. You don't want to burn the butter or the roux, but you do need the butter to melt down. So as soon as it's melted, you go in with your tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of flour, plain flour. Okay, so there you'll see the 2 tablespoons of plain flour. I'm just going to try and sweat this off a bit now. I think I might have put a bit too much in, to be fair. Maybe just 1 should have been done. But it will turn into a roux anyway. So this pan is quite big. We didn't need this pan so big, to be fair, but I didn't want to wash another one up, even though I've got a dishwasher. So anyway, we're cooking off the flour. So it goes into like lumps. It doesn't look very pleasant. There's a bit of butter still. Turn the heat down a bit now, we don't want it to burn. I'm turning it down to 5 for a bit now, just to cook the flour off, because you don't want the taste of the flour, ideally. So I used a couple of tablespoons of butter, because I need to make quite a bit of sauce, because I need to cover all that cheese, that broccoli in the cartons, in the whatever they're called, plastic carton tubs, whatever. So I'm just leaving that leaving that to brown off. Okay, little bit. So cook out the actual flour as long as you can, probably for a couple of minutes. There we go, sorry about the noise. But you need to cook out the flour because it won't be very nice if you don't. So I'm just going to leave that for a second. Then what you do in a minute, you get yourself some milk, and I'm not going to tell you how much milk to put in because it would just depend on how thick you like your sauce. So you just do a bit at a time. That's what I'd say and recommend. So still a bit powdery. Excuse the dog in the background. I've got a dash-hound called Elsie, and she's a little madam. You'll get to meet her one of the days. Right. So, yeah, I think that's okay now. So it's like in a paste. Yeah, got a paste. Yeah, it's okay. So what I'm going to do now is start adding bits of milk. It'll go lumpy at first and you'll be like, oh my god, what am I doing? But it'll be fine. Believe me, sorry about the camera work, but I'm trying to do it. I'll put you on the side usually, because I have got a holder for this camera. But I just want to show you that it will come into a sauce. So anyway, just keep stirring it. Put it back up on high. Keep stirring it. See, it's thickening up now. The lumps will go. You can use, say, whisk, which I have got here, which is probably going to be better, to be fair. I did put quite a bit of flour in that, so it's going to actually need a lot of milk, so I'm going to just throw all of this in now. I've probably got some more in the fridge, which I will sort of keep on top of and get some out in a minute. Just getting all the bits off there. Shouldn't really use metal on metal, because yes, I know that, but I've had this pan about 20 years, so I'm not too worried. To get the lumps out now, that's what you want. Let's put that down there, give it another good stir. Now, see, it's coming together nicely now. I'm just going to put you on hold because I'm going to get some, steamed up, some more milk out of the fridge. Right, as you can see, it's all cooked. The flour's all cooked off and the milk's definitely thickened up the sauce. So I'm going to turn it down now to about 5. Yeah. Just let that cook away a minute. Right, I've got the milk out of the fridge, some more milk. I usually keep some in here, which keeps it really nice and fresh because it's glass. So the next thing we do, it's optional as well, by the way, because people don't always like adding spices or, you know, herbs or stuff like that. But what I usually do to this, when it's just for me, my other half, not that he really eats it, I'll put in some Coleman's mustard powder, like a teaspoon of that, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. But as my sister's going to be having some of this, she doesn't like the mustard, so I've took that off. The mustard helps give it a nice yellowy colour as well, so, you know, but yeah. So we're going to put some, I'll put a bit of garlic in, because I think garlic gives it a bit of depth. So I'll just sprinkle some in. Eyeball it, that'll do. It's just garlic granules, you can use fresh. It smells nice. So there's that, yeah. Now, all you need to do is either grate some cheese. Well, do you know what, I can't even be bothered to grate cheese. So what I'm going to do is just cube up what I've got over here. So I've got some, I took this out the freezer because I froze that. So it doesn't look the greatest, but it's lovely. Any bits of odds of ends of cheese you should always keep and put in the freezer, because it's a really cost effective way. And just ends of cheese like these bits, anything like that, that can still go in your cheese sauce. There's nothing wrong with it. It adds flavour, as Jamie Oliver would say. So, oh my bloody dog. And anybody goes past the window, she's at that window. So that's it. We've got some chunks there. And what I'm going to do is just start throwing them in, because I can't be bothered to grate. Right. I mean, obviously if you do grate, it will melt in a lot quicker, but I'm not bothered. So that will go create a really nice melty, cheesy flavour. So I've got to do this piece as well. So this will add a bit of colour. I can't cut this one because it's just too hard, because it's been in the freezer, so bear with. Right, so all my lumps of cheese are in there now. So they're just bubbling away. Just let them melt in. As you can see, the fat in it. It's got the garlic in it. You can add a bit more milk or even cream if you want to. It depends how luxurious you want it. But that will all melt in. No problem. So just leave it until all the bits and lumps have gone. And that will be your cheese sauce. Easy peasy. It's got to be plain flour, or you could use corn flour or arrowroot, I think, to make a sauce. I don't think self-raising flour would work. I don't know why, but I don't think it does. So I'll put some black pepper in it. I haven't put any salt because I think there's enough salt from the butter and the cheese, so I don't tend to put a lot of salt in my food. In any of the vegetables there that I've cooked, I haven't put any salt. I steamed the broccoli, the stem, tender stem on its own without any salt. And then obviously the sweetness that those spring onions are brought to those vegetable medley is absolutely delicious. You could throw it into a stir fry or anything. Have it with a Sunday dinner. It doesn't matter, and they'd last like this probably for 3 or 4 days in the tubs because there's onion in it. You could even refreeze it. Well, freeze it, not refreeze it. You could freeze it and store it for, you know, a month or 2. But yeah, I'll be back in a minute when the cheese is melted. Melting nicely. It's changed colour because of the red Leicester. I'm going to pour it on that now. Put lids on that. All ready to go. Finished result again. Broccoli, cheese with black pepper. Delish.